Hello, anybody there? Oh, it goes way back. What's up, people? Anybody here early? I want to say welcome to another week of me talking to myself. We're gonna have a pretty full show today. We're gonna debut a new feature, which we're gonna call I don't know. We gotta come up with a name with it, but basically, we're gonna open the phone lines and let people call in. We're gonna have some chatter on the phone lines. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. Hopefully it goes smoothly. We're gonna watch. In the meantime, while we wait for some people to come in. What up, James? What up, Mark? In the meantime, we're going to watch Matt Blackfish. Go check out his channel. He's a real active fisherman down here in South Louisiana, if you don't know him already. He fishes some Bayou Coast kayak events. Does a lot of red fishing. What up, Landon? Welcome from Alaska. Man, that's far away. They got some good fishing in Alaska, though. All kinds of crazy stuff up there. I would love to catch one of those them big halibuts. But yeah, what we're gonna talk about this week? We're gonna talk about how I hate fishing in August, but it's slightly better now that I have a boat. August is slightly better, but you still got to run really far and sweat a lot to catch fish in August. What else are we going to talk about? I took a little red fishing trip. Well, what turned into a red fishing trip yesterday. And we finally had appearance of the fish we all been waiting for, or at least I've been waiting for. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to refresh some tactics to catch the my favorite summertime species to catch. So yeah, we got 3 good topics, and we're gonna take some calls later on. So I'll let y'all know the phone number when I'm ready to open up the phone lines. But yeah, here we go. Here's Matt fishing down in Pack. I think he released this video a couple days ago, August 17th. So shout yourself out if you're here. What up, Mark, Landon, Nate, James? Looks like that's who's here. So yeah, August is not my favorite month of the year to fish. I pretty much loathe August. I usually take the month off when I fish. When I was like only fishing out of the kayak, I would take the month of August off because it's just so hot and so uncomfortable to fish beyond like the early morning hours. So I used to take August off. Historically I probably only fish like 2-3 times a month in August. What up, King? What up, Emil? But yeah, now that I got the boat, I've been doing some crazy stuff lately. I've been taking some long runs. I know I told y'all about running down the Grand Isle and fishing out there. But when was that? Yesterday, me, Cody, who has been featured on a few videos, and my brother Colin, we ran out of Fort Pike, and we ran out to initially to do some trout fishing. We wanted to go and see if we could catch some trout. Last year we were catching some nice trout, nice numbers of trout out at Half Moon Island this time last year. So we ran out to Half Moon Island, and first, before the sun came up, we were on the water. Got out there pretty early, right prime time, and on my first cast my cork out there, popped it twice. I caught like a 11-inch trout, and after that, it was over with. We didn't catch not another trout. We caught I think I caught another gaff top, and then I think Cody caught 2 hardheads, and that's all we caught around Half Moon Island. So needless to say, the fish aren't there. So we fished it for a good little while. Fished for a couple hours, like pretty much circled the whole island. There was bait everywhere, like every shoreline you got on, every little pocket and point. There was mullets. There was what else? They had pogies and rain minnows, glass minnows, stuff like that. Everything that was there last year, everything that set up well last year. But there was just not many predators around. Like not even many ladyfish. It didn't seem like last year there was just tons of ladyfish swarming the island. You couldn't cast without hooking a ladyfish. But this year it's like there's no predators there. I think that freshwater is still hanging around. The water's still kind of dingy. It's better, but it's still kind of dingy and has that brownish tint from the river. I also probably that west wind we had last week probably didn't help either. But yeah, it's not worth running out there right now. So we fished there till about, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but maybe like 9 o'clock. The sun got pretty high. So then we went and tried to see if we could find some triple tail. So we ran a few traps in this general area. Wait, which way did we go? Like on this side and then down this way. We ran some traps. Didn't see any triple tail. So plan A didn't work. And then our backup plan, our secondary target, that wasn't showing up. So then we made a drastic move and we ran back into the marsh over here. And we just picked the shoreline and just started working the shoreline. And luckily, the first one we picked was the one that held some fish. So we ran back through into 9 Mile Bayou. We crossed from Half Moon back this way, and we just started working the shoreline. And as we worked the shoreline down, we could see, what up, Gustavo? As we worked the shoreline, we could see a lot of action, a lot of bait, like everywhere else we had been. But then we also started seeing some fish blowing up, and quickly found out that it was red. So I quickly sight casted a red along the shoreline within like the first 5-10 minutes of us being out there. So that pretty much locked us into what we were going to do that day. And so we made our way down that shoreline. We fished pretty much this whole area all the way from here, starting like right about here, and we fished all the way down to the end of this island. It took us a couple hours to get down there, I'm pretty sure. But it paid off. I think we ended up keeping 11 reds and one flounder. My brother was able to snag a flounder out of one of the pockets where we were red fishing. While we were red fishing, I should say. So yeah, that's the bucket shot. That's them all stacked in there. You can kind of see the flounder right there, but we caught a decent variety of sizes. A couple nice ones in there. I think we had like 3 that were like 25 to 27 inches. Then we had a couple that were like in the 28, 22, 23 inch range. And then we had, I think, 2 smaller ones that were like 16 to 18 inches. So yeah, it was a lot of reds on this bank. I think if we would have fish spoons or something like that and not tried to sight cast so much, we would have caught a lot more fish. But we were pretty set on sight casting and casting to fish that we could actually see. So we ended up not catching as many as we could have, but we ended up with a decent box and got some good meat for the freezer. So what was I going to say? So this area we were fishing, this pattern that we were on, I think it could probably translate to many other areas around South Louisiana. Like basically all we were doing, we were on this hard bank in like one of the outer bays. What is this, False Mount Bay? So on the outer bay, there's not much for the reds to hide on right now. And with that west wind we had, the water was kind of low. So there weren't many pockets that had much water in them. So they had to suck out onto these main shorelines in deeper areas. I'm pointing at the thing, y'all can't see me pointing. They had to suck out onto these main shorelines and these deeper shorelines of the main bay. So that's a little tip right there. If you're going to go fishing after a west wind or a north wind when the wind's blowing, it's going to be low in those little shallow pockets. So if you're out in Hopedale, like you're going to want to fish the bigger water when after a west wind or a north wind. And there's lots of similar areas that look very similar to this. Like even out of Grand Isle, there's some big islands and big bays with hard shorelines. Like this looks almost identical to where we were fishing on the other side. So if you fish a different area, you could probably get on that similar bite. So yeah, that's that. I also took a quick trip Sunday. to the Intercoastal and fished some of those shorelines and caught a couple reds. I think we only ended up keeping 2 reds, caught a few bass, and we weren't out there very long though. So, but it was very similar. It was a very similar pattern. We fished like shorelines off the Intercoastal, shorelines like the main Lake Bourne shorelines, and also on the edge of Lake Catherine, and we caught fish in those areas. Which is very similar to what we did out there in the Biloxi Marsh, which is fishing those bigger bodies of water with that west wind blowing. But what also happened is while we were in the Intercoastal, we were fishing in the Intercoastal, and there's tons of mullets just swimming down the banks of the Intercoastal right now. Just big rafts of them, hundreds, millions of them. Anybody still here? Can y'all hear me? I'm about to tell y'all where the jacks are at. But yeah, so there was big rafts swimming down. We were catching, we caught a few reds on the Intercoastal. But as we were fishing, I looked down at one point and I saw a jack like swim right under the boat. And so it was like literally like right like 2 feet in front of me, 3 feet in front of me, like at my feet, swimming under the boat. So we looked. So after I saw that, I got a little excited. I said, "All right, maybe there's something here." So I had brought my big rods with me just in case, because anytime I'm in this area, you're liable to run into jacks. They like to frenzy in the Wrigley's. They like to frenzy in the passes in Lake Catherine and stuff like that. They'll pop up anywhere in the coastal as well. They'll pop up on you. So I hadn't seen one all year. Haven't seen one all summer. And so finally I look down and I see one swimming right underneath my feet. So, all right, guys, thanks. I was just wondering because I guess y'all just listening to me talk, I guess, ramble. But, yeah, so I see the jack swimming at my feet. So I get really excited. I start throwing my popper on my big rod, trying to see what I could do, trying to catch one, and trying to get him to come back up. But that didn't work, but that got me intrigued, and so since I saw that one there, I knew that I figured that there was going to be more in the area. I had heard a couple rumors of them being some in the Wrigley's, and I heard another rumor of one being caught in Lake Catherine. So I knew that they probably were in the area if people were reporting them, and me seeing that one confirmed that they were definitely there. So then after that, we pretty much abandoned the redfish hunt. We had 2 in the box. That was more than enough for dinner. So then we ran back into Lake Catherine, where last year we were seeing them in Lake Catherine. They would blow up. They would like just shoot up a bunch of white water, like at the mouths of these bayous and stuff. And if you would look out, you would just see them explode. Poof, 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 poof. White water shooting out the surface, and they would do this for like 10 seconds, and then they would go down and disappear. So we ran into Lake Catherine, and we started drifting a little bit. And sure enough, bam, right as we got out there, I saw a frenzy going off right here. As we came under this bridge, there was a frenzy going off like over here in this area. So we ran over there, started casting, didn't do anything. Casting the popper, nothing came up. So I gave up on that. So then I started to go see... So now that I saw that, two instances of jacks, then I knew it was official, that they were officially there. So I hit up one of my favorite spots in Lake Pontchartrain, and it didn't take us very long. We got to the spot. We probably took 10 casts and hooked up on the first jack of the year. I don't think I shared the picture of it. What? Let's share a picture of it right now. Let's see. Do I have a picture of it that I can share? So yeah, they're there. So just make sure you got your stout tackle. Where'd it go? See if I pull that picture up. Did I see any along Alligator Point? No, I didn't see him out there. I saw the. I didn't make it all the way out to Alligator Point though. We stayed mostly in like kind of around this area where we were fishing the other day, James. But yeah, there he is. First fish of the year, for me at least. Got him in the boat Sunday. So they're definitely there now, guys. So if y'all want to start jack fishing, it's not a waste of time anymore. Oh, here's the laid out cleaning table shot of the reds we caught yesterday. I know that's not a very good picture of them. That's 11 reds and the lucky flounder that Colin caught. That's not blood, that's paint on that table. That's red paint for the Mardi Gras. Decorating the Mardi Gras float, the truck float. But yeah, that's the reds we caught. So it's definitely starting to feel a little bit like fall now when we get out there. The fish are kind of starting to put the feed bag on, and they're starting to get a little bit easier to catch. And it's starting to feel a little cooler when we get out there. Like yesterday when we launched, it was like 70 degrees. I kind of had like a little chill on my arms when we were running out there. I wish I would have had a windbreaker. So that's always a good sign. I can't wait till September rolls in. Once we get to late September, we'll probably start looking for some speckled trout in Lake Pontchartrain. And the jack should only continue to get better through October, until about Halloween. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess we're going to go over some of the tackle I like to use for jacks real quick. I know I've talked about this before, but my number one lure for the jacks is a big topwater. This is a 6-inch popper. I think this is like a tsunami popper. It's like the cheapest big popper I could find. It's like $9, $10 online. And I think you can buy these at Professional. I think Professional carries these. This exact model. But also Puglia's has a nice variety of poppers too. But I don't think they carry this exact model, which is pretty inexpensive compared to some of the others. Like you can spend up to $30-$40 on a popper. My all-time favorite popper though is a Yozuri Bull Pop. It's nice and heavy duty. It holds up to the abuse of the fish. You don't have to do anything. You can fish it right out of the box. This tsunami popper, I like to change the hooks out. I go and get these hooks from Puglia's. These are Mustad inline single size 7 hooks. It's the cheapest thing at Puglia's too. It's only $2.99 for a 5-pack. Don't go buy them all. I'm already stocked up on them, but don't go buy them all because I might need some more. But yeah, I like to change all my lures out to single hooks. Single hooks are so much easier to unhook the fish, especially when you're catching jacks. You're not going to keep them. You're just going to release them. So you don't want to kill them and make them bleed out or anything. The other lures I like to use, you can use swim baits, soft plastics on stout jig heads. And also another great lure to use, but those tend to get torn up. So another great lure to use is a silver spoon. This is a 3-ounce casting spoon. I think it's like 5 inches maybe. And I changed out the hook to that same inline single hook. That hooks them really well. Got a nice wide gap on it and a nice sharp point. These things are really sharp and they hold up well to the jacks. This spoon you can get at I think Dick's Sporting Goods used to sell this spoon locally. You can order them online. It's like I think it's called a Sea Striker 3-ounce chrome casting spoon. But West Marine has these. They keep them in stock. So if you can't find them at Dick's Sporting Goods, go to West Marine. They keep them in stock. And this is a great lure because it's heavy. It casts like a bullet. You can cast it as far as you want, pretty much. And the jacks love it. They'll smash this thing, and it's pretty much indestructible. But it comes with a treble hook on it, and I highly recommend you change that treble hook out to a stout single hook. My all-time favorite jack lure though is the Pet Spoon. These are discontinued. You got to buy them used off of eBay. But if you got these, if you know about these things have some history. Offshore, like tarpon guys used to use them. But yeah, when I first started jack fishing, this is what the old guys told me to use. So we used to go buy these Pet 21s at Puglia's, but I think they stopped making them. So you got to buy them off of eBay. This is a Pet 21. This is official right here. As big as my head. It's like a 12-inch spoon. Maybe not 12 inches, 10 inches. 10-inch spoon, and they go crazy for this thing. But this is also Pet 19. This one works well too. You can also catch some nice reds off of this. Like, you'll be surprised. You'll be casting this thing, and you'll be liable to catch like a nice 26, 25-inch redfish on this Pet 19. But the jacks like it too. They'll tear this thing up. But yeah, anything shiny, anything fast moving, they love it. And also with casting these heavy lures, you want to make sure you got a rod and a reel that's built to cast these heavy lures. You don't want to go at it with your regular trout and redfish rods. You tear your rods up, break your rods. So yeah, get you something a little heavier, a little surf casting combo, or a jigging rod. I like to use a jigging rod because you get that flex. And you don't have to worry about high sticking or breaking your rod or anything like that with a jigging rod. So yeah, anybody got any questions about jack fishing? The jacks are liable to pop up anywhere right now. You never know. You never know where they're gonna pop up. So you carry your big rod with you if you're gonna go fishing in Lake Pontchartrain. And if you see them busting bait, go ahead and take a cast over there. It's probably, chances are you'll hook up. But yeah, so far, all the reports I've heard and all my experience has been with the jacks has been in this eastern part of the lake. I haven't seen any on the south shore yet, but I'll definitely go. And check the south shore this week sometime. And I guess I'll report back to you guys next Wednesday and let you know how we doing. What up, Damon? What up, Ray? What reel should you use? I recommend a 5,000, 6,000 size reel. You want something that can hold like 300 yards of 50-pound braid, 40, 50-pound braid. So you wanna beef up your gear. When we going? I don't know, man. We're gonna have to get together one Sunday. I guess we're gonna do a jack meetup soon. Probably my next Sunday off. So I'll let y'all know Wednesday before I'm off on Sunday, and we'll make it happen. Make it happen. We'll invite everybody: boats, kayaks, bank fishermen, whoever. And we'll see if we can get everybody a good shot at hooking up. They're a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun. Like I said, that's my favorite thing to do in the summertime because you don't have to really burn yourself out. You can go for a quick trip in the morning, or you can go in the afternoon, and you can do a lot of running and gunning. And once you get on them, you catch that one, and then you go home because your arm is done. But they're fun. It's nothing like it on the inside, especially like Lake Pontchartrain in the city type of stuff. But so yeah, so I know I showed y'all some hot spots before, but pretty much yeah, native. The reds have been Reds have been pretty kind of on fire, from what I've been understanding, especially in my areas I like to fish, Lake Bourne, the Wrigley's, even Lake Pontchartrain. I've been hearing a lot of good catches of reds. So I'm sure down in Delacroix where the reds really live, where there's just like millions of redfish, I'm pretty sure they've probably been feeding as well. I think it all has to do with the west wind we had last week. We had that west wind blowing, so I think it dropped the levels of the marsh, so those fish have less places to hide when that water's low. So it makes it a little bit more easier for us fishermen to really get around good numbers of fish when they don't have many places to hide. All right, what else I want to talk about? I had something else written down. Oh, Ride the Bull's coming up this week. So good luck to anybody who's fishing Ride the Bull. If you need bait and you know how to throw a cast net, you can go on Lake Pontchartrain right now on the seawall and catch all the mullets you need. But you could probably also get some bait down the road. Anybody got anything else to talk about? Anybody went fishing this weekend? Steve caught a 44-inch drag on a 2500 pin battle too. Damn, man. How long was that fight, Steve? Dalen. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Once it cools off, the fish are going to start biting a lot better. Right now, a lot of your trout are on the outside right now. They're all on the beaches and in the passes in the saltier water. So once it starts cooling off mid-September, all those trout are going to be back inside the marsh. So that'll make trout a lot more accessible and easier to get to. And then the redfish and the shrimp, well, the shrimp are going to be migrating out, and the redfish are going to start really gorging themselves on shrimp and pretty much anything else they can eat because they know winter's coming. So yeah, once it cools off a bit, fishing just really takes off, and it's going to peak in like October, November. It'll be as good as it gets. Even into December, it'll still be really good until it starts really cooling, getting real cold. Well, relatively cold for Louisiana, real cold for Louisiana. Only 20 minutes? That's not bad, Steve. You horsed them in. Yeah, I had a video last year. I had took a trip. Yeah, white matrix craw. Yeah, that's a good bait. That's yesterday. That's what my buddy Cody was throwing. He threw a white matrix craw, pretty much on that same setup. I don't know if it was a lazy man hook, but he had a swim bait hook with a little small spoon attached, willow blade spoon, and Cody was doing a lot of blind casting, and he was catching them like that with that same setup. I was throwing. What did I start off throwing? I started off throwing I don't even know what I started with, but what I ended with was a swim bait hook with a golden ticket shoo marsh craw, which is a nice little lure. It kind of gives you that gold spoon look with a soft plastic action. So wait, I'm in the way. My face is in the way. So yeah, that's what I was throwing. And Cody was throwing something similar to this, but with a white. Oh wait, I moved myself right back in the way. He was throwing something similar to this with the white crawfish, and that was working just as well. Oh, my brother Colin, he stuck with just a regular jig head. He stuck with just a regular jig head and just a cockerhole minnow, and he caught almost as many, and he caught the flounder too, so dragging it kind of tight to the bottom. So that was how we were all rigged up pretty much all day long. You use spoons on hand lines and caught jacks? Man, I can't imagine catching a jack on a hand line. You must have some tough hands or wore some gloves. Catching king mackerel on the hand line still is probably pretty tough. That's pretty rough. Yeah, I caught a couple jacks on my on my regular trout setup, my little bait caster, and my medium action rod. I couldn't do it with the rod, so I don't know how I would do it with just my bare hands. All right, guys, so we're gonna try something new now. We're gonna open up the phone lines. Here, I'm gonna type the phone number in the chat. It's gonna be 504 534. Why is it doing that? 5040. If you want to call in and chat, ask a question, you got a comment, a critique, I don't know, whatever. We're gonna see what this devolves into. But if you want to call in, go ahead and call in now. We're gonna see what happens. Don't everybody call at once. I don't know how this is exactly going to work. I don't have like a screening thing, but we're going to figure that out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to just see what happens. So anybody went fishing over the weekend? Steve said he went to Florida Keys. Wow. I think I saw you released a video, right? Or was that on Facebook? I don't know. I get this confused. But yeah, go check out Steve's channel. I'm sure he has some videos coming from Florida soon. Actually, let's go see right now. We're going to check it out while we wait for somebody to volunteer to call in if they want. Here we go. Florida Keys road trip. Steve Raddy. Damn, buddy knocked out.
Turn heading to Grand Isle, and here we are. Coming over the bridge, heading on to Key Largo. In the Boston Whaling. Didn't catch anything trolling there, caught a small red grouper. Bottom fishing on the reef, but it's so hot they come in, so it's this evening we're in a little...
Nobody wants to call in?
Here, and I just threw out a little hardtail on a circle hook and caught about a 4 or 5 foot nurse shark. So
what?
Only took about 2 or 3 minutes.
Come on, Nate. You call first. Somebody call in. Somebody got to have a question.
Match my last catch.
Wow, look at that. He's caught himself a...
Somebody got to have a fishing story they want to tell.
Yeah. He's got a mono, a fluorocarbon leader.
Somebody got a fishing story to tell. Somebody got a good report.
Shark? Doing the same thing the one I caught. Hooked him over there and he started running out the channel. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's smaller than the one I had, so we won't get my hook back. Oh yeah.
King Kong caught some, what he caught? Monster catfish this past Saturday. Yeah, the river's going down quick. I can't wait. I hope it goes down, gets real low now, and makes up for all that fresh water has been pumping out. Nobody. Oh, you at work, man? No worries. Thanks for watching though at work. Nobody's brave enough. A nurse shark. Those things don't really have teeth, do they? But yeah, we're not gonna watch Steve's whole video. Go check out Steve's video. Um, go check out Steve's video on his channel. I think you can just click those three dots to the right of his name. At least if you're on a computer, that's how it works. I don't know how it works on the phone. But what else we got going on? Anybody else got any question? Oh, you hooked a tarpon? Man, I would love to hook a man. Don't even get me started on tarpon. So what else is coming up? We got a kayak tournament coming up. Any of you guys are kayaking? We got Rumble on the River, Bayou Coast Kayak Club. It's gonna be open to fish anywhere in Plaquemines or St. Bernard Parish, I believe. I think that's how the rules go. Let's pull up the rules. I haven't really read all the way through them, but I just heard like the announcement. I think it's gonna be on like September 21st. Let's go check it out. Going to be on September 21st, my birthday, I think. No, September 28th. All right, September 28th, so the week after, man. Boundaries are all of St. Bernard Parish and Plaquemines Parish, and the object is to catch two redfish that are 22 inches to 27 inches. Uh-oh, we're getting a call. Somebody called in.
Colin Oliver. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, what's up? Why say your name like a robot? How you make your voice sound like a woman?
First time caller, long time listener.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the show. What do you have to say? Come on, get to it. You're wasting my time. We gotta go to commercial break.
Did you already talk about what we went fishing?
Yeah, we talked about how you got lucky and caught a flounder. So can you explain to the people how you caught a flounder? Oh, I pressed
We
it.
need to go back and exploit that because I thought I was casting out a redfish and I was just shaking the lure on the bottom and had a hit and thought it was a redfish until I saw it.
Until you caught it. Until you really, it wasn't fighting like a redfish though.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, what else was cool happened yesterday? Oh, there was bull reds. There was some. I didn't talk about this. There was a lot of bull reds up in these pockets.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you there? All right, I hear you now. Yeah, there was a lot of bull reds in those pockets, and they were all tailing. You could see those big tails waving, and at one point, like one of them, like his whole body was out of the water. You could see like his whole back and then his tail coming out, and they were just cruising, crushing mullets, and
That's a little popping mullet.
I don't know whatever else was back there.
Once in a while, they decide to charge at the bank.
Yeah, they would just destroy the bank. They were acting like jacks, kinda. They were just chasing that bait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where we going next? What we gonna do next week?
Next week, I don't know.
I don't know. What
It look good for me to go back out there.
do you mean? You want to go back out there and fish for reds again?
We should go to Grand Isle since you've been trying to kind of teasing that pattern out.
Going to Grand Isle? I'm done with Grand Isle. I went to Grand Isle 3 times in a row.
What else is there?
I don't know.
You want to go up?
We need to go to the Keys like Steve.
The Keys?
Yeah, Steve went to the Florida Keys. He caught a tarpon. He hooked a tarpon.
Let's Belize. Going up some shit.
What?
Let's go to Belize.
Oh, nah, I can't make it to Belize. I can't take that much. All right. So if you could say one key to our fishing trip yesterday, what was the secret? What made us successful yesterday?
Flexibility.
Flexibility. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
We were able to give up and roll around and figure something out.
Right. Yeah, I think that was the key because when we went out there, I had no intention on catching redfish at all, but um, we kind of took what the conditions gave us, and it made.
Now we have an area we can add to the list whenever we need something to do.
Yeah, that's true. Now when we go out there, we know we can try that.
That was a pretty unexploited area.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
That were active.
Right, I do like fishing this area because it seems like it doesn't get that much fishing pressure, and I can see why because it's so wide open. It's kind of hard to get to. But
Well, all right.
all right, thanks for calling, Colin. You bail me out. I love you, brother.
All right.
You ain't got nothing else to talk about?
Oh, wait, let me get my shout out.
Oh, shout out. Who you want to shout out?
To my mom, who might be listening right now,
Yeah,
and want to shout out Cody.
shout out to Cody. Cody is the key to catching fish. That's what I figured out. I gotta take Cody fishing with me every time.
All right. Shout out to the United States Postal Service.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, my sponsor, the United States Postal Service.
All right.
Let me see who else I could tell to call. Wait, hold on. Stay on. Don't hang up. What else you want to talk about? What else we got to do? What's coming up? What's coming up in September? What you looking forward to fishing for in September? What's your favorite part of September fall fishing?
I was looking forward to catching triple tail and trout and Spanish mackerel.
Spanish mackerel. That's a weird fish to name because a lot of people like take Spanish mackerel for granted.
It's so fun.
It's fun to you?
It's like jack fishing but small scale.
Yeah, I can see that because there's like the frenzies and the frenzies of the Spanish mackerel and how they hit this little small spoons.
It's quite hard for a little fish like that.
Right.
It's
That's
fun
true.
to
They
get
do.
mixed too.
They do fight pretty hard for the small fish, especially on lighter, trout tackle and stuff.
And it's fun when they mix in with the trout too.
Yeah.
Get a surprise.
Yeah, every now and then you just lose a lure, and you be wondering what happened. You be wondering what happened to your $7 jerkbait to just get cut off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fun little thing with those crazy frenzy fish. Those
Yeah.
frenzy bites.
Yeah, of course a frenzy is always fun if you're getting bit every time you cast in.
So that's what I'm looking forward to in the fall.
You're looking forward to seeing if the Spanish mackerel will start frenzying in Lake Bourne?
Not just mackerel, those trout will frenzy too.
Oh, yeah. Well. Yeah, under the birds and stuff like that, huh? That's what I'm looking forward to. Some easy, cool trout fishing where you don't have to sweat. And you can just cast in and catch some fish. I'm also ready to get I'm ready for the lake to finally really flush out. Smoked Spanish mackerel is I never tried it smoked. Usually when I catch the Spanish, I'll cut up a few and make ceviche. I like ceviche. The oilier Spanish mackerel meat is tasty to me as a ceviche.
I thought you're not supposed to eat too much Spanish mackerel, right?
Yeah, but you don't eat too much ceviche anyway. How much ceviche are you going to eat? You're not going to eat a lot of that. You're not supposed to eat any of those fish that eat other fish, though, right? Yeah. I think that's why Jack Crevalle don't taste very good, because they eat nothing but fish. Mullet, especially Louisiana mullet. Ugh. I was cutting some of those mullets off a chum, and the whole back of the boat was just getting muddy. It's weird.
That's what I want to do. Shark fishing.
Shark fishing? I haven't gone shark fishing in a while. So yeah, we got a lot of options in the fall.
Catch some big sharks, and it's fun when they jump too.
Yeah. Sharks, jacks. We're just gonna go big fish fishing.
Just waiting for the trout to show up.
Yeah, we just wait for. Yeah, I'm tired of making those long runs though. Like running out to Grand Isle from what's that place? Port Sulphur? Not Port Sulphur. What's the place? Myrtle Grove. That's the name of the place. Running out there, like running out to the Long Rocks, running out to Half Moon Island, like Isle of Pete, places like that. That's hard on your back. I'm gonna be ready for some easy runs. What?
The motor is tired of it too.
Oh yeah, my motor's been running great. It's been getting me everywhere I need to go, but yesterday it started acting up a little bit. I had a issue where the ball was like compressing. What'd you call it? Like a vacuum was forming in my fuel lines, I guess. And the ball was compressing. It wasn't staying inflated and full of fuel. So I got another issue to work out on the motor. I'll probably spare you that video. It's probably gonna be me just cursing a lot and changing out parts. Trying to figure out what's going on. But I wonder if somebody else can call. What's going to happen if somebody else tries to call right now while you on? Is anybody else going to call in? Anybody else got any questions, comments? They want to tell the world something live on YouTube with me? No? All right. Well, Colin, sign us off.
All right. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Oh, you forgot to tell them to put the thumbs up and get ready to call in next week.
Like and subscribe and watch every week, Wednesday at 8:30.
And come with some questions and comments and be ready to have your phone charged up to call in next Wednesday, since this is now a thing.
For new regular videos.
Yeah, fishing videos that I gotta edit.
I was forgetting the cameras in the car.
Or if I ever stop being lazy and edit and post the videos that I do have stacked up. I've been doing a lot of good fishing lately, and I need to share it with the world.
Hopefully the jacks we can get some jack drone shots.
Yeah, we're gonna get the jacks, Colin. We're gonna definitely go jack fishing.
We'll get some overhead drone shots of the jacks.
If I call it, turn off your sound. Oh, you don't want people to hear you, Nate? Nah, Nate, if you call, you gotta let the world hear you. Oh, Colin hung up on me. He just snuck out the back door. Oh, what happened? Did I hang up? Wait, whoever that was that just tried to call right back. I don't know what happened. It hung up. Yeah, we gotta get Charlie to call in. Yeah, we're gonna make this a thing now. We're gonna call it like the hot seat or something like that. We're gonna put people on there. We're gonna get them to. Here we go. We got somebody calling in now.
Call from
David.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
What up, David?
Nothing much, man. What's happening?
All right, man. How you doing? So what you got for us?
Doing all right. Nah, y'all just talking about the Spanish mackerel. I was out in Lake Bourne the other day. That's kind of what it looked like. There was a bunch of mullets in there, and I see something like blasting across the surface real fast.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes they'll jump out the water and kind of flash on top.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not sure what it was, but I just see something cutting through the mullets real fast.
Right. Yeah. They'll jump out and you'll see them. They'll kind of jump like a mullet, but it'll be like they'll jump a little higher than a mullet, like more in an arch. And but yeah, I don't know. They're kind of hard to catch like that, but sometimes they'll get in a frenzy. They'll get in a frenzy, and they'll be really easy to catch when you get like more than one together. You get that group together, they'll start crashing on everything.
Getting all over up in there in the mullet.
Oh yeah,
Busting all up in there.
yeah. Well, that's probably all kinds of stuff out there. Once you get out in Lake Bourne, they got big sharks and jacks and a little bit of everything out there. But yeah.
It's by the castle.
Oh yeah, you over by the castle? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody told me that there was some good action over there. They have been catching a few trout and a lot of redfish over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you, man. All right.
All right, bud. Well, thanks for calling in. You our first brave call-in guy. See, it wasn't that hard. Thanks, bud.
Nah, I'm in Houston actually working, and I was listening to you, but I was doing something, so my hands were kind of full for a little bit. I
Right.
called you earlier.
Right. Oh, no worries, man. Thanks for calling. Have a good night.
All right, bye.
Bye. See y'all. Look, it wasn't that hard. David called in, gave us a little report. He saw something jumping through some mullets. Anybody else want to call in before I get out of here? What's the best month for big fall specs? I don't know. What's the best month for big? I don't know. All the months in the fall are good for specs. Usually you catch more numbers in the fall. That's usually what I target. But anytime you got a chance to get out there, you got a chance to catch a big one. I like to target, if you target the bridges in Lake Pontchartrain in those World Series trout. Those World Series trout in Lake Pontchartrain, so that's like, what month is that? Like October. That's when you get some of those big trout coming in on the bridges. That's kind of the only bite I know that's like big trout in the fall, or known for bigger trout in the fall. But yeah, once you get into wintertime, you can fish a lot of the redfish ponds, shallow water areas like around Delacroix, Hopedale, stuff like that. You can get into some big trout in the wintertime. So yeah, that's the ticket for catching bigger trout. Once it starts getting cooler, they'll start moving back inside the marsh, and you'll catch your numbers in those deeper holes. But once you get to the winter, you want to start fishing shallow ponds, redfish ponds, stuff like that. That's where you'll catch some big ones. Anybody? But my favorite month to fish specs in the fall is probably late October, early November. That's when it starts to get pretty on fire. We got another call coming in.
Call from
Nate.
Nate calling in. He finally decided to do it. What up, Nate?
Not much, just chilling.
Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, thanks for watching every week.
Oh, every week, my old lady knows. And then
Yeah.
around 8 o'clock, don't bother me.
Yeah, it's
She
time.
already knows.
Right. I heard that.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
Yep, I heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say, man, I appreciate everything you're doing. Good advice you're giving everybody and all that.
Oh, no worries, man. I like to share. I like to see everybody catching fish. That's my goal, to help everybody, and inspire everybody to get out there and go try it for themselves,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. We're gonna get together one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
All right, then.
Yeah, man. You been out lately anywhere?
No, I've been working. I started a new job.
Oh,
Crazy.
yeah, me too. That's how I've been. I've been trying to make it on my little time off, but it's rough.
Oh, yeah.
Right, man. But
You figure something else out?
yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get together, man. We gotta do like a viewer appreciation day or something like that. We're gonna make it happen.
No, we make it happen.
All right, man. What's
All
that?
right,
All right, thanks for calling.
All right.
Later.
Yeah.
All right. See, look at that. It's not that hard to call in. Next week we're gonna have everybody get your questions ready. Bring your best questions. Try to stump me. We're gonna do like an ask me anything or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this new phone call thing. How's the audio quality though? That's another question I had. Can y'all hear everybody loud and clear? What up, Charles? What's Charles' question? Did we ever do Reggio yet? Try Hopedale Lagoon, Shell Beach. A lot of bait with no action. Yeah, that's been my problem everywhere. There's bait everywhere. You can't fish the bait this time of year. There's just so much bait in the water. You got to really key in on those spots. Figure out where the fish are actually holding. You can't just cheat and look for the bait. But I haven't been to Reggio in a while. I usually try to steer clear of those shallow water areas. I usually try to steer clear of those shallow water areas in the summertime because it just gets so hot and the fish get real lethargic in like Reggio and back in the marsh in the shallow area. So you want to try to stick to those areas where you got good moving water, deeper water, Charles. Shell Beach is kind of like a prime area if you fish the little canal right there up in this area. I would probably steer clear of going back in these areas because it's just so stagnant and hot. A little more color volume. Okay. I think we could work with that. I think we could do that. Real Reds. What do I think about the weather for Ride the Bull? I haven't looked up. Let's see what the weather is for Grand Isle this weekend. Let's see, where are we going? This is not it. This is the old site. A good harvest on those rocks. Oh, you talking about that old video? Are you talking about recently when we were down in Grand Isle, Charles? Yeah, I heard there's supposed to be some rain coming through maybe. Probably like typical summer weather down here. But let's see what we got going on down here. If I can ever make it zoom in. Sunday. What the? Why does it keep zooming out? Ugh. The water current is too heavy. Oh man, you gotta the water, that water movement is good for the summertime. That's going to keep it oxygenated and keep it cooler. You might have to just upsize your weight on your line a little bit. I think that's great now. So let's see, what are we looking for? Wind speed. Let's look what the wind speed is supposed to be. Saturday. I don't know why I'm doing. Wind speed is supposed to be from the northeast. And it's saying like 8. Oh, then it's supposed to switch to the north later in the day. So what is it saying? Like 8 knots? 8 knots, 8 knots. And then the wind gusts are 11 knots. That's not too bad. The direction is kind of bad because it's blowing with the direction of the pass, so you're going to get some waves building up in the pass. But I mean, 8 to 10 doesn't sound too bad. It's probably going to be a little lighter earlier in the day. That's 1 p.m. So we go a little earlier in the day. It's going to be a little lighter, so you're not going to want to be out there all day anyway. It's going to be hot probably. So I would just advise you to get out there early, Real Reds, probably as soon as possible. Get on your spot and try to hook up early before it gets super hot anyway. And that way you have like less time dealing with the waves and the weather. And you'll have the most enjoyable time if you can get out there and catch a fish early and get out the water. 40%, I always risk it on 40% chance of rain. Yeah, Real Reds, that's probably the advised way to go. Looks like down in Grand Isle they're calling for 60% chance of rain. Yeah, that's probably advisable. Get off the water early. It's probably not worth it to sit out there and bake in that sun, unless you really, really, really want to win, and then you just got to put the time in and deal with it. But yeah, they're calling for that's 7 p.m. Yeah, Charles, just go straight out there and see what you can do. But yeah, 40%. Usually once it starts getting like closer to 60, 70%, that's when I start getting a little leery about going out. But 40%, yeah, I'll risk it. 40 is closer to 0 than 100. So yeah, and the weatherman is never right. Exactly. So I usually take his 40% and downgrade it in my mind to like 30%. Yeah, that's all Ride the Bull is about, is having a good time. It's not super competitive, I don't think. No, I'm not gonna be doing it. I gotta work this Saturday. I took off like, what was that, 2 Mondays ago? So yeah, I can't take off again for the next few weeks. And I got a couple other kayak tournaments coming up. We got the Bayou Coast Redfish Rumble. I think that's the name of it. That's coming up in the end of next month, 28th of September. So I'll probably be taking off for that. Sunday is 30. See, that's even closer to 0, Charles. Charles, you should have called in. We could have had this conversation on the phone for the people. But next week we'll open the phone lines again next week. I think we'll close the phone lines for now. What up, Wash? What time is it? It's 9:30 already. Jeez, it's been on for an hour now. But yeah, just keep an eye on the weather. If you're fishing Ride the Bull, I don't think they're gonna let you get smacked by a storm. They're gonna let you know that the storm is coming, and just keep an eye on everybody else. You know, it's better to move with the crowd when you're on the water. But yeah, good luck, Real Reds. Get you some nice fresh bait. Go bigger than small on your bait so that you don't have to deal with too many catfish. And get you a good anchor and good luck. It's pretty much a crapshoot out there. Anybody has a chance to win if you get your bait down on the bottom. Oh, bass fishing spots in the east. I'm sorry, Tam. I seen that we got hooked up looking at the weather and stuff. Bass fishing in the east. The number one spot I would go bass fishing in the east is they got some canals out there. All these canals in the east hold fish. Some are better than others. What's a good one? This canal on Morrison holds fish, and it has like a lot of different structure and stuff. So they got like different like reeds and mats of grass and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Real Reds with Mark. Who's Mark? Hold on, which Mark you talking about? Only Mark coming to my head right now is the Sinker Man Mark. But also, what other canal has good fish in it? I think it's this canal right here. This is off of Janky Street, off of Hain. This little stretch right there holds some good bass. And what other one holds bass? This one right here. What? Ooh, I was showing y'all everything. This one right here, this little stretch right here, like by Home Depot, where Toys R Us. Oh, M Hood Mark. Okay. See, I don't refer to M Hood as, I refer to him as M Hood. I never call him Mark. Or at least usually I don't call him Mark. Unless I'm like talking to him. If I'm talking about him, I call him M Hood. It's weird. 3 years ago at the lake. But yeah, all these little canals, pretty much any little piece of fresh water out here holds some fish. Another good spot that's slept on. Another good spot that's slept on is the canals like behind UNO. If you walk this bank back here, you'll catch some good bass. At the London Avenue Canal behind UNO right here. And where else? Where else? Where else? Let's see. Bayou St. John got some bass in it that you can walk the bank. Pretty much any little pocket you could fish on the bank, they'll probably have some bass there. And City Park, always good. Tam. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Let's say good luck to Real Reds on Sunday. Come back next Wednesday and report back and let us know what you catch, what your experience was like. Maybe even call in and tell us what your experience was like. Yeah, that used to be one of my favorite spots in the world to fish. It kind of done dried up now, but I think the bass fishing is still pretty good. Oh, dude, we got a story to tell you about. Man, one year, me and my brother went back there on Thanksgiving morning, and before all this stuff was there, they had like a big flat right in this corner, and they would get back in there and tail, and we caught a huge one back there one Thanksgiving morning. But that's a story for another day. I'll get Colin to call in next week and tell us a story about how he caught that drum that was big as him on Thanksgiving morning. But yeah, good luck, everybody at the Bull. Everybody have a good night. Stay safe. Hope y'all get to go fishing this weekend. Yeah, Wash. Hopefully I get to make it up to Texas and come catch some of those stripers sooner than later. And I'll see you guys on the water. Thanks for watching. See y'all next Wednesday. Good night. Peace. Tight lines.